In 5.2, we're going to look at logarithmic functions. So when you're thinking about it, you see log on the left-hand side, BA equals Y. So if you notice, B is a subscript, so that means it's sitting a little bit lower than the normal writing. So the B stands for base. So the B is the base. The A is the argument. And then the Y, we just kind of call the answer. So the B is the base, the A is the argument, and the Y is the answer. So when you're computing the logarithmic function to exponential function, so that's with the arrow. So now we're going to look at, so you see the B turns into the base. The Y is the answer as the exponent. And then the A, that was our argument. So you just plug in the numbers from the logarithmic function into its certain pieces for the exponential function. So let's look at it as a problem. So it's telling us to write the log as an exponential function. So let's look at A. So the 5 is what? So it's kind of what I remember it as, the base raised to the answer equals the argument. So the base raised to the answer equals the argument. So what's our base? So our base is 5. So the base raised to the answer. So what was the answer? 3, right? So this was our answer equals the argument. So the argument is 125. And think about it. 5 cubed equals 125. So it's just rearranging it. So taking the log setting and changing it to an exponential setting. So this is 5 cubed equals 125. So that's your final answer. All right, so let's try the next one. The base, so our base is 2, raised to the answer, so this in this case it's x, equals, what's the argument? 16. And it's just telling us to write it. We're not solving anything, so you're just leaving it at that. So that's the final answer, getting comfortable of where things go. All right, and then C, so the base raised to the answer. So what's my base? My base is A. Raised to the answer, so that's 6, equals the argument, and that's 3. So the base raised to the answer equals the argument. All right, so let's try the other side. So now we have an exponential function, and we need to write as a log. So this is just written the other way. So my first number, the equal, that was my argument, right? Based raised to the answer. So the 4 is the base raised to the answer. Base raised to the answer equals the argument. So let's write it as a log. So I have my log, and then it's base, answer, argument. All right, so let's plug it in. So I have log. What was my base? My base was 4, and remember it's a subscript, so write it below. And then what was my argument? 16. And then my answer is 2. So exponent is kind of the answer. So that is your final answer. Let's try B. So my base. So what is my base? 5 raised to the answer equals the argument. So the argument is next, right? That 4.6 equals x. All right, and then C. So I have log base. My base is E. Then the 4 equals x. Now a log E, which we're going to talk about in the next video. So when you have a log E, this is also a natural log. So you might see it written kind of as a ln instead of log E. So that's interchangeable, and we'll talk about that in the next video. So this you might see ln 4 equals x. It's just considered ln means log E.